Hey, everyone. This is LACORA Stevens with the Yes Show, Young, Entertaining, and Saved, where we highlight Christians in the entertainment business who could possibly inspire you to find or create your yes. In today's show, it's all about a joyful noise. We have a great guest by the name of Lydia René, along with some wonderful clips that you are sure to enjoy. So don't go anywhere. Welcome to the Yes Show. As a classically trained pianist and accomplished musician, Lydia René's sound is best described as indie, vibrant soul, with influences ranging from Jill Scott and Phyllis Hyman to James Taylor and Carole King. Lydia's blended sound will take audiences to a higher musical plateau. In 2015, Lydia had the opportunity to sing a soul-stirring rendition of I Put a Spell on You for the movie trailer campaign for the box office hit, The Perfect Guy. She also lent her voice to a hit show, Empire, on Fox by singing Wade in the Water with a stellar vocal ensemble for a commercial promo. Currently, she is featured vocalist in Chobani Yogurt's national commercial campaign, singing What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. Her studio album, Vintage Heart, has already received great acclaim from music publications including Soul Train, Philadelphia Weekly, and Soul Bounce. It is now available for purchase on iTunes, Amazon, MP3, Google Play, and Bandcamp. Please welcome Miss Lydia René.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of course.
You are awesome.
Thank you.
You
so
have
much.
this neo soul. It takes me back. You know what? Your voice, your music, it takes me back to like the 90s.
Okay.
Like Music Soul Child,
Yeah,
Jill
yeah.
Scott, Erykah Badu.
Right.
Beautiful. And your sound. It's like, did God just, was it always like this for you? Like as a child, did you always know you were a singer?
No, actually not. I always played piano because my dad was like, if you live in my house, you're going to have to learn how to play piano.
Say what?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that was just a requirement. Everybody in my family plays piano, and so I was going to play piano
Wow.
too. So I started piano lessons when I was 6 years old. And I've played ever since. But as far as singing, I did sing in choir, and I sang in church.
Were you alto?
Yeah.
Soprano?
Alto.
Okay. I was a soprano back in my heyday.
Oh, okay. So I sang in church, so I was familiar with singing, but I never thought I would do it professionally or as a career until I got older. I graduated from college, and my aunt encouraged me to sing the songs that I had been writing because I wanted to write for other singers.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sing it myself, but she was like, I think you can sing it, and that's when I started singing.
Sing it. Yes, you could sing it. And not only can you sing it, but you could like sing it. You know what I mean? And it's just so crazy to me that you were saying that you never thought to sing it yourself, especially with a voice like yours.
Yeah.
So your auntie encouraged you
She
to,
did.
and now she just kind of catapulted you into your purpose.
Yeah, she did.
So let's talk about purpose.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of folks are still trying to find it.
Very
They're still
true.
trying to understand it. How
Yeah.
did you know that this singing, that this was it?
Well, I had always written in my diary, and music and creative things were always an outlet for me because I got bullied in school and things like that. And the way I dealt with it was writing songs, writing poetry, painting, all that kind of stuff. So when I finally did start singing the songs myself, it almost felt like this is where I always belonged. You know, it felt very natural to me. It was something that I felt like, why wasn't I doing this the whole time? And also when people tell me, oh, you know, that's my life. You just wrote my life. You just changed my whole situation with that song, or I can relate to that so much. I'm so glad I heard that song. That's when it started to become purpose for me, when other people were being changed or healed, or, you know, just feeling better by listening to my music or
Girl,
my
that'll
songs.
preach. So I guess, and if you guys are wondering out there, well, I don't know my purpose, I'm just trying to understand it and find out. You just said something so important, that your purpose, that it incites change for others. It inspires them to do better, want better, to connect. It's something. It's more than you. It's about others.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
That's good. Well, I also found out, girl, that you went from Jersey or Philly, where you went like all the way from the East Coast to LA.
I did.
How?
Oh man. You know, I had a great job. I worked 9 to 5. I had just bought a car, got a new apartment, and I was doing well, but I felt like I wasn't really living in my purpose. And I felt like I was caught in this cycle that I wasn't really doing anything. I was just going through the motions. And I kept hearing God say, I think you need to leave. And then I would get a prophecy like, it's time for you to step out the boat and walk. You need to walk in your purpose. You need to do this. I would hear different things. And I was like, okay. And finally, I just got fed up. And I was like, no matter what happens, I'm leaving my job and I'm moving to Los Angeles. So I made an intention. I was like, even if I have to quit, I don't care what happens. So once I did that, the second I made that decision in my mind, my job started laying people off, which, you know, would be a horrible thing for somebody that needs the job. But for me, I was like, I'm trying to get out of here. And they were offering extra severance pay for people who volunteered to leave. So I did that. I left. The same day I left my job was my last day in my apartment. And I moved right to Los Angeles. But it worked out perfectly because I was able to get way more money than I even thought I could have gotten just by leaving the job.
That is faith.
Yeah, like, it was.
That's crazy. It's not crazy.
It is crazy.
But it's crazy. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But you know, when God has you, and you said you kept hearing God.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you hear him, you must move.
Amen.
Like you cannot delay. You cannot say, but I don't know. You can't play double dutch with God's word. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
If he says it, do it.
Yeah.
And it has brought you some amazing things. Like I was looking at your resume and I was like, she's been on this show, she's sang background for this person.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Let's talk to the people about the things, your highlights and what you've done.
Okay. Well, recently I just sang background for an artist named Mike Posner. He had some huge hits in the 2000s, and he just released a new album. But in singing and working with him, I was able to sing at the Thanksgiving Day football game with millions of people in the stands and millions of viewers, which was amazing and crazy just to see that many people in a space. I was able to be on the James Corden show and the morning show with Kelly and Ryan, which was awesome as well. I was able to work with Ariana Grande on her Grammy Award winning single.
And she has such a beautiful voice. What do you think about her?
You love her voice?
No, not her personality, like her voice. Because people compare her to Mariah Carey.
And I think that's accurate. She has like the whistle sound. Yeah, she's really good.
I think she is a great singer.
Yeah, she's a great vocalist.
Yeah, some folks just kind of hate on her, and I'm like, but you know, just because they compare the two. Yeah. But it's like, okay, they both have gifts. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So okay, so go ahead. You sang for her. I just had to say that.
We worked on the music video specifically, which was kind of a cool experience as well. And I was able to also work with Moby. He's an artist from way back in the day.
Moby.
I contracted the choir for his music video, and I sang in the music video as well.
Wow. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
When I wake up in the morning, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, without morning love weighs heavy on my mind. Then I look at you and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, yeah. Lovely day.
Major key. Beautiful people, are you ready? Are you ready to take it higher? Are you ready to take it higher than that? Then let's take it to the future.
You just gotta be careful what you call the thing, Mom, because you named that boy Major. You know what I mean? And there is something to being called that your whole life and playing the background. But it's his time. It's his time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Major! Y'all singing what it says.
It's hope. It's a sound of hope. It's a sound of hope. We got the big band. We've got retro. We've got the future. It's everything. It's major. I think he's going to help music. I think he's going to help a generation of people, a generation that didn't really get the music we grew up on. I think he's going to help them understand, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's going to be someone like that Stevie Wonder and someone like, you know, Ray Charles that made an impact back in the day. I think he's got that. I definitely believe in him, and we haven't stopped for 2 years, and we're going to continue for another 2, 3, 5, 10, 12, 15. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, hypothetically, I kind of feel like, you know, he's Michael and I'm Quincy Jones. Like, that's how we work in the studio, you know what I mean? Like, we just want to create moments for you, people like you, to have special moments. You know what I mean? You ever listen to a song and be like, I got married to this song, or this is where I met my first love, this is where I had my first kiss. This is what we're trying to recreate. You know what I mean? We're trying to create those moments again.
Yes.
Now, Lydia,
Yes.
a little birdie told me, we're going to switch gears just for a little, but a little birdie told me that you were in a 3-year long distance relationship.
I was.
And not only because, number one, long distance relationships, they rarely survive.
True.
But you flipped it into your rib plus dirt. You know, Adam and Eve, like,
Yeah.
you know, that God-given gift.
Yeah.
Like how?
Oh,
Because, I mean, we need to know. Folks like me.
I honestly just have to give glory to God for that, because I was like, listen, I don't do long distance relationships. I don't want to do it. So we stayed friends for a year, and we spoke, and we would see each other. You know, he would come to DC. I would drive to DC and meet him there because he lived in Los Angeles. And so we did that for a year. And then after a while, I was like, nobody else really cares about me the way this man does. And I care about him too, even though I'm trying to fight it. So I was like, well, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try the long distance relationship. And honestly, from day one, he has blessed me. He's made me a better person. I became a better daughter, a better granddaughter, a better friend. I got closer to God. Everything, he enhanced everything in my life, which is something that's very important. You want somebody that makes your life better. And, you know, vice versa. You want to make their life better as well. And together we just became stronger and better.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I just love that God, because God says that once you find, you know, that wife, that good thing, like he blesses you.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's good that he's making you a better person. And I'm sure with all this loveliness, with this hair, this fit, you are making him better. Have you guys ever thought about, you know, like discussing, you know, being Christian and doing what you do in the entertainment, because not only are you a singer, like I've seen some of your commercials, you're funny. I'm like, I wonder how her husband or how you feel, because I've often had, you know, like this internal conflict about, you know, this entertainment and being Christian in it's a secular business for the most part.
Certainly, it's constantly a struggle. I've been blessed that I haven't been put in any crazy situations that I've had to make a decision whether to walk away, because some people get propositioned with things. They have to walk away. They have to make hard decisions. Do I take this job? Do I work with these people? Do I leave it alone? I think that sometimes we're afraid to share our faith, even in the office space in LA. You're afraid to share that you love Christ, that you're a Christian, because there's a connotation that comes with that in the world. However, I think that when you represent Christ and you just are a light and you carry him wherever you go, it's a testimony to people sometimes, because they're like, well, why is she so happy? Why does she smile all the time? Why does she have so much peace when I feel depressed? I feel, you know, bedraggled, whatever. How is she, you know, maintaining in this industry? And people will ask you, you know, and I think it speaks as an example to other people. If you carry God with you, he'll sustain you, you know. Sometimes it is hard.
It is.
And you have to really make sure your morals and your values are in check before you go out in the world.
And I could tell, like, seeing your performances, like, you just have this glow. Your smile is so beautiful. And I was just like, she is such a beautiful person. Like, yes,
that.
I want to interview her. I want to talk to her. I want to get to know her. And you're going to perform a song called Beautiful.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to hear it.
Oh.
But like, since you write your own music, like, does it come from a certain place? Like, do you force yourself to sit down, or do you just have one, like an epiphany, and you just write?
Most of the time, I just sit at the piano and see what comes to me. Sometimes I'll have a specific subject in mind and I'm like, I need to write about this. With Beautiful, it's something that I've always wanted to write about. For some reason, when we get talked about or bullied or there's shame in our past, we don't want to talk about it. Even though it's nothing that I did wrong or nothing that anyone did wrong. But I wanted to talk about it because bullying is a huge thing for a lot of people, a lot of children, even adults. And I wanted to speak specifically to my experience, because even though I try to shove it in my past, it made me who I am today. And that's why I talk about that in the chorus. I need her to become who I am. It's a letter to my younger self to let her know that this is going to pass. You're beautiful. You're awesome. And you're a light, and people need to know about that.
Girl, and I know you guys are out there and you're like, yeah, we want to know about it. So I have a surprise for you. Lydia René is going to hit the stage with a live performance of Beautiful. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For the plus size ladies, sometimes they make our clothes sometimes with the same fabric they make the skinny people clothes, and that's not good. So what I did, like these leggings for example, they was cheap, they was $6.99, so I bought 2 pair so that you couldn't see every imperfection that my body has. I didn't want you to see it. I doubled them up so they can kind of conceal a little bit of you know, stuff or whatever. And so it's just full on raining now. But that's one thing. And then dress for the occasion. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone was out here in like heavy boots and stuff like that, that looks stupid. Like you walking in the grass, you're not comfortable, big heavy jeans. Like wear something like you guys, we at the park. Look like you guys in the park. You know, so I love when people dress appropriate. I like when people dress for their body types too. I'm a size 14 on the bottom. I'm like a 10, 12 on top. And so what I can wear, other people can't. What other people wear, I can't. You know, I don't really wear my legs out too much because they're not quite ready yet. So you gotta know what your limitations are and stay within that. And when you find something that works for you, get it in every color.
Absolutely.
And then add a brooch, and then add this, and then make yourself feel like add some heels sometimes, and make yourself feel like you're doing something different. But you find something that works for your body, just keep recycling it.
Will do. Thank you, Goo. You're gorgeous.
I didn't know that a part of being a celebrity meant that you had to have new clothes all the time. And I don't know about you, but I don't have money for that. So sometimes I have to go in my closet and I gotta put on a dress and a different belt this time. And maybe add a hat, a gladiator sandal, no heel, and just totally revamp it. And that way, none of the pieces look too recognizable, and I feel like I got a whole new look, and I didn't have to spend not $1.
My name is Lydia René, and I'm a singer, a songwriter, an arranger, and I'm an artist and I like to create.
Shadows fill the room, candlelight flickers.
I got into music because I came from a pretty musical family. I had to learn how to play the piano if I didn't do anything else. I just stayed with music throughout my whole life. This music was always a constant for me. I was born in Mount Holly, New Jersey. It's a very small town. But the cool thing about Mount Holly is it's close to every single major city on the East Coast. I don't think it's fair to just have one musical influence. I have a ton of them. I will say that one of my biggest musical influences is Miss Jill Scott. She made me fall in love with neo soul. You know, I heard her song playing in the gymnasium, Long Walk, when I was 14, and I was done. I was a neo soul head ever since. I think my defining moment and my favorite moment was when I realized that a good friend of mine from high school, she called me up one day and was like, hey, yeah, don't you do music? My husband was one of the producers on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And I was like, why didn't you tell me this? My friend kept bugging him over and over and over again to let me write one song. And finally, I got that call. They were like, okay, we're going to send you a track. And we'd like to hear the song in 48 hours. So I was like, okay, terrified. Terrified, half to death. But I wrote the song. I got it done in one day. I went to their studio. I sang it for them. They absolutely loved it. So that's how I got started working with Tejamold and Jahari Newton. The name of the LP or the album is called Vintage Heart. And the title basically went through metamorphosis. I wanted to call it Vintage Me, and my mom vetoed that. I was like, well, it's love, but I want to say vintage love. That's whack. So she's like, what about vintage heart? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And vintage heart basically means, well, vintage, the word vintage means something that is used, but still in good condition. All the songs were written a long time ago, with the exception of maybe one or two. And, you know, it's very vintage in that way also. I would love for my fans to know, after listening to my album, to know that real love exists and that they can have it. A lot of times we tend to settle, or we just kind of give up on it, period. Whether it's love for yourself, love with a significant other, love with anything. Also, I'd like to show that intimacy doesn't have to be of a sexual nature. That's all well and good, but there's other things that go into a relationship other than that, and intimacy is oftentimes all the stuff surrounding that, as well as just a very, very personal side of myself. Everything happened to me or a friend of mine. It happened in every single song.
She told me that her smile had been broken by careless words that were spoken to make her feel like she wasn't enough. More and more years of old dry tears created a shell secret fears, but I will see her and I will be her. I know I need her to become who I am, and I will cherish every blemish, and I won't stop until she sees that she's beautiful. Here in her room, my soul feels the loneliness. I see her scars, she only shows me them. Time heals wounds, but never perfectly. She just wants to be everything she sees and everything she's taught to chase. I want her to know she's everything and more, and everything I want to be. And I will see her, and I will be her. I know I need her to become who I am, and I will cherish every blemish, and I won't stop until she sees she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. And I will see her, and I will be here. I know I need her to become who I am, and I will cherish every blemish, and I won't stop until she sees that she's beautiful.
Yes, Lydia René. That is what I'm talking about. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You are beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know you guys know that she is beautiful just like you. And Lydia, I know that they could still buy and purchase your music from your first album, right?
My first album is called Vintage Heart, and it's available everywhere: iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify. And you can reach me at my website, LydiaRené.com, LYDIARENE.com.
And she is everywhere. So buy her music, follow her, support her. You guys, remember, this is all about using your talent to glorify God. And I hope we have inspired you to create your yes or to find your yes. Everyone, we'll be seeing you guys next week. Bye-bye.